Okay, first and foremost, forgive my attire. It is hot. Okay, I'm in my bedroom. Okay, so sorry I didn't have a tuxedo on. Um, I want to talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse incident. That the young gentleman's name is. The individual in question is a 17-year-old boy, young man, who lived in Illinois and went across the county line, the state line to Wisconsin with an AR-15 with the intentions of protecting a neighborhood under siege. Now, in a lot of cases, the police are overwhelmed. In a lot of cases, the police have been defunded. In a lot of cases, the local Democrats have told the police to stand down. In a lot of cases, the police are so disgusted by their mayors throwing them under the bus, they don't want to get involved because they're afraid if they have to hurt somebody or kill somebody, God forbid, the mayor will immediately hang them from a tree. And in a lot of cases, you get a combination of all that, of any of that stuff. Okay? And when that happens, criminals take control immediately. So this young gentleman went across state lines with his rifle with the intent of protecting property. And while he was protecting someone's property, store, whatever the fuck, he was attacked. I've heard two stories. One story, which is the one that's most likely, is he was chased away from said property by his assailants. The other story, which I deem to be least likely, is that he was, in fact, going out on patrol looking for people. I deem that to be least likely. Okay? And one incident, an individual throws an object at him, which was believed to be a Molotov cocktail, but then they said it was a brick or some other shit. It was thrown with the intent to hurt him. He felt like he was out of options, and he fired and killed that person. I have to point out the immediate irony that as the person lay dying, someone asked for police assistance. Yeah. He does retreat, presumably because his life is in danger. He does make a phone call, most likely to 911. He is trapped again. An individual hits him in the head with a skateboard. He shoots and kills that individual. An individual pulls a gun on him. He shoots that individual in the arm at point blank range, ripping his arm apart. And in fact, the first picture I saw of the incident was that arm. I don't know what it was. It was a shotgun blast, but now we know. He then goes away and tells police what happened. He's being charged with first-degree premeditated murder. Now, of the three individuals, the first individual, one who the brick at him or whatever the object was a registered sex offender. Now, I've seen one of our other friends who looked into it. He was 18. He's 2 years younger than me, the guy that was killed, is 2 years younger than I am. And he was 18, convicted of or pled guilty to a statutory offense, which means his girlfriend was under 18. And most likely her mother or father called the police on him. Now, okay, we're going to talk about that for 1 minute. Deviate for 1 second, please. Half the people that I know from my time in high school would be sex offenders today if their boyfriend or girlfriend's mother or father found out what was going on. I'll give some examples. A gentleman one time came into class and showed us pictures of his girlfriend semi-nude and confessed that he had full nude of her. They were both under 18. By law, that's child pornography. Okay? They were like the same age, a couple months apart. I don't think it was a big deal. His girlfriend went to another school. Okay? And girls, when your boyfriend says, I promise not to show my friends, he's lying. Okay? He's lying. A girl I went to school with, she was dating a guy a year older than us, and today she's married to another one of our friends with a baby. She is 17 and change. He's a year older than her. He's 19. Okay? We're seniors in high school. He graduated last year. I know for a fact they were sleeping together at 17 and 19-ish. He's like a year and a half older than her. In New York, that was legal because the age was 17, so she was fine. Now, there was one incident when she's showing us pictures. They went down the Jersey Shore for the weekend. And a lot of guys went down Jersey Shore for the weekend here and there, to hang out for a weekend, stay in a Fleabag hotel or some shit. New Jersey law says 18. So she's 17, he's 19. Okay? If they did anything funny in Jersey, by law, he's committing a felony. And because they live in New York and went to New Jersey, by law, if he slept with her in New Jersey, he trafficked a minor, which meant there would have been a federal referral. And the federal court might have said, okay, they're 19 and 17, it's legal where they live, their boyfriend, girlfriend, get the fuck out of here. Okay? But by definition, that would have been a federal crime. You're 17 and 19, going across state lines, you happen to be in bed together at the hotel, that's a federal crime. Okay? I knew guys that went to school who admitted that when they were 13 or 14 to sleeping with 19-year-old girls. Okay? So anytime a person is convicted of a sex crime, if it's a statutory crime when they're 18, look at it twice. And understand half the guys would be in jail or would have went to jail for some shit because they were fucking around under 18. Or he's 18, she's 17, he's 19, she's 16. Okay? He's 16, she's 18. I've seen it both ways. Okay? I've seen it both ways, guys. Okay? Yeah. So, and personally, I think that if a girl and a guy are on the age gap, he's over, she's under, I personally think the father should just punch the kid in the face real hard. Punch the kid in the face real hard, and when he wakes up, tell him, listen, I punched him in the face, you slept with my daughter. Okay? If you tell the cops I punched you, I'll tell the cops you're guilty of sexual rape. Okay? And just do it like a wash. Okay? He's 18, your daughter's 16, you caught him in bed, punch him in the face once, and get over it. Okay? But this individual was 18 with an underage girl. Her parents probably called the cops on him. He's a sex offender. Okay? He's different than a guy that's my age, fuck with a 9-year-old. Okay? He's different. Okay? 18 and 16 is different than 35 and 9. Okay? Or different. Okay? So look at it twice when that happens. Okay? Now, speaking of my father, speaking of Jersey Shore, my father's best friend and his wife, they're both dead now. They had a food court area in Jersey Shore. I went there to visit many times, my father. Okay? Many years ago, my father was dating his first wife. My father's 20, first wife is 16. They're dating. He waited till she was 18 to marry her. His best friend was dating her best friend. He's 20, she's 16. He can't wait. He goes to her father, hands her the marriage license, and asks her father to sign the marriage license. And he had her pregnant at 16. Okay? My favorite gymnast. She met her husband. She's 12, he's 16. When she's 18, she realizes she's attracted to him. And when she's about 19, she demands he fall in love with her. Okay? Did a long distance relationship on the phone from Texas to Ohio. And then when she was about 20, he's about 24, he enrolls in medical school. He comes to Texas and asks her father's permission. And she goes back to Ohio with him and moves in with him. Okay? So they're still married to this day. They love each other very much. I give them all sorts of shit about it. Okay? Okay, he's the greatest guy in the world. Okay? He really is a great guy. Okay? And I said, I had to let her go to somebody. I'm glad she went to you. I tell him that all the time. Okay? I love her. She's my favorite gymnast. I love her with all my heart. Okay? She had to go to somebody. I'm glad she went to you because you deserve her more than anyone else does. I told him that. Point blank. Okay? So you gotta be wary about that. Okay? Guys are 3, 4, 5 years apart. My mother is 19 years younger than my father. They were adults when they met. They were 19 and 38 when they met. And they were 21 and 40 when they moved in together. Okay? And Hugh Hefner was 90 with 21-year-old girls. Okay? So, don't automatically say sex offender. Now, being 18 with your 16-year-old girlfriend, fine. Being 36, attacking a 17-year-old, not fine. This guy was on camera acting aggressively towards this young man verbally. An hour later, he's on camera again, chasing him down the street. Okay? So, that's that. Skateboard guy, because after he kills the first guy, he runs away, he trips. Skateboard guy comes, hits him with the skateboard, he kills him. Then other guy comes with the gun, he shoots him in the arm. Guy with gun is a felon. Okay? Skateboard guy has the biggest rap sheet of the night. He's extensive assault, all that other bullshit. Okay? So, yeah. But I just want to clarify that when you see the word sex offender or pedophile, be wary of what you say. Because, okay, trust me. Alright? Okay, just be aware of what you say. Because remember that you and your friends, when you were 18, 19, you were doing shit with girls. And you were 15, 16 doing shit with older girls, okay? So, but that's why I wanted to clarify that sex offender. Alright, just clarify that. But he's still wrong for going after the kid and throwing something at him. Okay, that's still wrong, period. Okay, I wouldn't say pedophile, but I would say assailant. Okay, so that happens. Now, the lessons learned are this. If you're 17 and your neighbor is under siege and you got to get your rifle and defend your property, fine. Okay? But being 17 and leaving your house to travel to other locations, I personally would say no, flat out. Okay, I've got 3 nephews. One is 16. You guys are in their 20s. The others in their 20s. Excuse me. And my sister-in-law and my sister would not have let their boys out of the house at 15, 16, 17 with a fucking gun. Okay? So 17 years old, taking a gun and moving it to a second location, especially across state lines, mind you, that is not going to be jiving well. Because Wisconsin law says 17, you can have a rifle outside the house if you're hunting or target shooting. He was not doing that. He was also not being supervised by an adult. So, yeah, he might get into trouble for that right there. Being underage with a rifle in a defensive, if it's your house and you got to defend your house at 17, fine. But to get in a car and go somewhere across state lines, and okay, you do patrol shit or guard shit, okay, it's not going to look good. Okay, even if you're 18 or older, getting in a car with a gun across state lines might be a big problem. You never know. It might be. Because when you get into an active shoot, you have to answer a million questions, and they look at every aspect of it. And they may, now, first of all, these guys, you got a felon with a gun. You got guys that are out looting, robbing, killing, beating the shit out of people, setting buildings on fire. Every night we see buildings being torched, we see churches being torched, we see statues being torn down. I mean, every night we see guys being beaten with fucking bricks and raped, okay? We see this shit every fucking night. Literally, every night. Okay? So we could all successfully argue, that none of those guys should have been there. Because they were all up to no good. And to be honest, when it gets dark out, okay, in a high pressure situation, 99% of the guys going out are out there looking for bad shit. Fighting, stealing, okay, burning, looting, bombing, killing, okay? They're out there for bad shit. So you will definitely argue that none of those guys belong there, period. But they will argue that he should not have been out there. He's under 18 with a rifle going across state lines. They're going to argue he should have stayed home with his mother. So yes, the shootings themselves look like self-defense, but the argument is, what were you doing there? And that argument will come across time and time again in these incidents, okay? Now, if you're protecting your own property, that I understand. So I understand the rooftop Koreans, okay, the cul-de-sac commandos, okay, the storefront sheiks, okay, I've heard all those fucking slangs. I understand that. But defending your property where you stand and getting in a car and driving somewhere to defend other shit, that is going to come back to haunt you. Trust me. Okay? They may very well come back not guilty for murder because it was pretty much self-defense, period. But I would not bet against them, convicting him of possession of a weapon as a minor or some other shit like that, okay? So this is a situation you don't want to get into, okay? And my friends, I implore you, don't get in the car and go across state lines to do this shit, okay? Don't, because it will haunt you, okay? It will haunt you. Now, maybe if you have a relative across state lines and you're an adult, okay. Or maybe you want to tell your relative across state lines, listen, I don't want to be hanging out in front of your house with a fucking gun because I come from across the state line. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're going to get your shit together and I'm going to come pick you up and bring you back to my house. And I'll protect you at my house. And you'll bring, Uncle Joey's ashes or the yearbooks or the marriage license, okay, whatever, okay. So tell your relatives across state lines to get some shit together to bring out so God forbid their home is invaded while they're gone. They don't get the good shit, the jewelry, the marriage license, the yearbook, okay? Uncle Joey's ashes, okay? Do that shit. But be very, 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 very careful when you seriously consider going across state lines, going into a danger zone, okay? Because you know it's hot. You know shit's gonna get real, okay? If it's happening in your neighborhood and you gotta defend yourself, fine. But I would not do it. I personally would not do it. Because I'd be deathly afraid of the questions later on. Okay, I'm deathly afraid of those questions. Okay, and you never know what a jury's gonna say. You never know what well, there's not a jury in the world that will convict you of that. Okay? I'm gonna refer you to the Justice Kavanaugh hearings, okay? I spoke to over 200 people on social media when that was going on. Mostly Augie was supposed to talk to, like Nancy Augie, okay, yeah. Okay, I cannot count the people, men and women, who believed every word Blasey Ford said. I also cannot count the number of people who believed every word Blasey Ford said after she was caught lying. They believed every word she said after she was caught lying. I also cannot begin to tell you the number of people that thought you could prosecute a person because they wanted Justice Kavanaugh to go to jail. That thought you could prosecute a person 35 years after the statute of limitations ran out. I also cannot begin to tell you the number of people that did not know what evidence was, did not know what the Sixth Amendment was, did not know what trial by jury was, okay? There were people that I was arguing with on social media who believed in their hearts, they literally believed this, that, they believed that the simple fact that Blasey Ford said Kavanaugh did it meant he was guilty, period. They didn't need evidence. He said she did it, therefore he's guilty. She said he did it, therefore he's guilty. Okay? Those people can find their way onto a jury. you'd be surprised. Okay? So you got a rifle with a pistol grip. You're going across state lines. You're under 18. And you kill 2 people and wound another. Okay? There are people that are looking at the pistol grip on the rifle, the fact you came across state lines, the fact that you're not 18. That's what they're looking at. They're not looking at the brick that was thrown at the guy or Molotov cocktail, whatever it was. They're not looking at the skateboard that was hitting the head with. They're not looking at that felon with the gun. Okay? They're not looking at the statues being torn down. They're not looking at the riots, the looting. They're not looking at that shit. All they're looking at is pistol grip on the rifle, under 18, across state lines. That's all they're looking at. Okay? Those guys can get on the jury. I prayed upon Christ. I pray to Christ in heaven that there's one guy in the jury that says, you know what? Fuck it. I'm voting not guilty. Hung jury. I'm not going to convict this kid. Period. Okay? Because you're not convicting the guys that are burning down black neighborhoods. You're not convicting the guys that are raping, killing, bombing, burning. I mean, just absolute. This is fucking terrorism. Okay? Between Black Lives Matter and Antifa, that is terrorism. They are no different than Al-Qaeda. They are no different than ISIS. They are no different than the Klan. They are no different than Boko Haram or Hezbollah or Hamas. Okay? They are terrorists. Period. Okay? They're using violence to enact a political means. Okay? And the politicians are complicit in terrorism because the terrorists demanded the police be defunded, and the minute the police were defunded, they got worse. So now who's running the street now? Terrorists. Okay? We literally have terrorists in this country running the street. The terrorists demand the politicians stop the police. Then once the politicians comply with the terrorists go around and kill innocent people. It is terrorism. I'm looking at that, okay? But that's me, okay? These assholes are not looking at that, okay? So, and I've seen people that justify the rioting. I have seen people justify the looting. I unfollowed over 70 celebrities. And I'll tell you one thing. I unfollowed a celebrity the day after he died. It was a celebrity I followed on Instagram, okay? I followed him. I hadn't seen his page in a couple of months. The day he died, I went back on his page, realized I followed it. He had a link to Black Lives Matter. I unfollowed him after he died. Okay? I make no exceptions. If you support Black Lives Matter, if you support Antifa, if you're raising money for the rioters' bail, I unfollow you. Period. Okay? I told my favorite gymnast in the fucking world that I unfollowed her surrogate niece. Okay? Her favorite fan who was damn near her niece. Okay? Her favorite fan who sat in her lap as a child. I said, I unfollowed her because of this bullshit. Okay? I make no exceptions in this bullshit. But there are people that don't care. There are people that are convinced that the bail money is for non-violent protesters. Okay? Don't look at, well, I shot the guy, therefore it's justified. Look at, I shot the guy who's on the jury. Now, if you're on your own property and the guy comes in, you gotta shoot him, fuck him. Okay? It's okay? In fact, most of the time, unless the DA is funded by George Soros, most of the time, they won't even charge you with a misdemeanor. Okay? You're on your own fucking property with your rifle. Rioters come to your front lawn with pitchforks. You shoot one of them in the fucking head with your rifle. Police come. They don't give a fuck. They're not gonna charge you. You fucking kidding me? But getting in the car, going across state lines, being under 18, okay, it doesn't look good. I personally don't give a fuck. Okay? These guys are scumbags, okay? They're terrorists. They're destroying black neighborhoods, destroying Hispanic neighborhoods, destroying immigrant neighborhoods, okay? They rape women, they kill babies, okay? They're fucking savages, okay? I don't give a fuck if you kill them. But I'm not on the jury. Okay? So I have no say in it. You need to worry about what the jury thinks, what the judge thinks, and what the prosecutor thinks. That's what you need to worry about. Now, personally, if I was the president, I would pardon this fucking kid, and I would give him reward money. Out of my own billionaire pocket, I would give him fucking reward money. Because maybe if you pardon the guys that are fighting back and give them reward money, maybe they'll think twice. Because we've seen guys kicked in the head. We've seen guys beaten to a fucking pulp. Okay? We've seen video footage of guys just savaged. Okay? We had a police officer shot in the back. And it was fucking lashing on Facebook. Okay? It's sickening. But the fucking sick part is the jury pool is from the community. Okay? So think about this for a minute. Who supports the rioters? The politicians. Who elects the politicians? The people. Who are the jurors? The people. The same people that vote for the politicians that support the riots are the same people that get put in the fucking jury. So always be wary of that, my friends. Okay? Always think about that. Don't think about anything other than what the fuck is going to happen to me. I'm justified in doing this, but what are they going to think? Okay, hopefully he gets off easy. If not, the president pardons him, but it's fucked up. Okay? And parents, if your kid is 17 and he wants to get in the car and go across state lines, okay, you know what you tell the kid? Listen, protect our fucking house, okay? Tell your kid the rioters might come here and protect your mother. Tell him that. Make him feel better, okay? Take your rifle, load your rifle, okay? Pull your ammo up, pull your magazine up, pull your fucking medical bag out, okay? Sit in the living room with the rifle on your lap, and if the rioters come to your house, shoot them there, okay? That's what you tell your 17-year-old kid, okay? Protect your mother. That's what I would do, okay? My father's elderly, okay? I got a mother here, okay? So if I was seeing riots in the next town over or the next state over, you know what I would do? Load my rifle and protect my place. Protect this area. I wouldn't get in a fucking car and drive somewhere to protect that. Protect your own home. Thank you.